nicknamed the Celtic Tiger because of its economic boom that lasted for more than a decade, transforming it from one of Europe's poorest countries to one of its wealthiest. But now Ireland's economic growth has taken a dramatic pause, started in 2008. Where does Ireland now see growth opportunities? Well, with us is the head of Ireland's Investment Attraction Agency, the IDA. Barry O'Leary is here in studio with us. Thank you so much for joining us here. From Celtic Tiger to Celtic Cub, I mean, all these ideas keep getting repeated in the press. What's the reality of what's happening in Ireland right now?
Well, thanks for having me here. What's happening is that we're suffering from an overhyped property market. We've had huge growth in the property market since 2000, and that put pressures. The prices went up, borrowings went up, the banks got into trouble, and it's important that we're addressing that, which we are in terms of setting up a national asset management agency. I think what you have to do is differentiate. You have the construction sector causing a lot of problems, but you have the modern sector, the tech industry, the life sciences, and exports are actually growing this year from that area, but we have a big job of work to do to restructure the national balance sheet.
You mentioned NAMA, the National Asset Management Agency, and attempt to stabilize the banks and help stabilize the economy there. Of course, there's always concern about deficits, raise taxes to try to keep some of that at bay. The corporate tax rate has been key for attracting investment to Ireland. Is it going to move from that 12.5% level?
No, definitely not. There's a very, very firm commitment to the 12.5% corporation tax rate. It is a maximum rate, but it brings lots of benefits, so it would be foolish to play around with that. I think we can be 100% confident that's going to stay.
Well, we've seen the ads here on Bloomberg, on other networks, for IDA. It's a great ad campaign, playing up the idea of innovation in Ireland. Specifically, what do you see Ireland as offering right now to some of those corporations?
Yeah, I think there are two really good examples, PayPal and Aon, the insurance broker. PayPal has set up a global innovation centre in Ireland, 35 people spending about $20 million to re-engineer the customer experience, the user experience. We supported them back in January, February. Last week they announced they were hiring another 100 people. That global innovation team will test bed it in Ireland and roll it out across the globe, and there are many examples of that.
An educated workforce has been an asset for Ireland, but you know, recently we've been hearing about emigration out of Ireland once again because of the crisis in the country. How do you sell the idea of an educated, strong workforce when you are seeing people seek opportunities outside of their home country right now?
Sure. I think the niche that we're playing in at the moment is very much Europe or European, Middle East and Africa. And where you're assembling a large multilingual team like Google is, they've hired 1,600 people in Ireland. So the skill set in terms of Facebook, in terms of eBay, PayPal, you'll find opportunities in the Irish market there, but particularly in the life sciences, that's a growth area. But other skills, unfortunately, people will be emigrating, particularly in the construction industry.
We saw today the euro hit that $1.50 mark. Euro strength against the dollar. It makes it hard for U.S. businesses to start to consider that unless they're selling products there. How do you battle that?
Well, there are two things. In a small number of companies, it's actually a benefit because if they have big euro earnings and when they convert them back into dollar.
But clearly, the cost of doing business.
Exactly. If you're going to make an investment decision, it will make it more difficult. Both sterling and the dollar, which are our two main markets, we're suffering from the point of view of a strong euro.
What's happening in terms of property values for those corporations who do own real estate within Ireland right now? When are they going to see their assets sort of return?
I think property prices are down 30 to 40% from the peak. They probably have a little bit more to go, but it is a long-term investment, and provided you can stay in for the long term. What is interesting, at the weekend, a new fund of €3 billion was formed to buy up some of these distressed assets, and when the private sector is doing that, that's a good indication that we will get it back on track.
What's your forecast for getting out of this?
Well, I think the biggest example to me is the demonstration of what's going to happen to our cost base to get us more competitive. The public service, their salaries will be cut from between 7 and 28% over an 18-month period. That's serious. Not too many countries will take that on, but that's just one example of the actions that are taking place to get the competitiveness. We'd have to be confident we will. We have a good educated workforce. We have a great track record with the multinational community. They are still coming to Ireland, so we will get out of it.
All right. Good luck. Thank you so much, Barry O'Leary, who's in New York to try to help attract some of that investment back to Ireland. Thank you so much for joining us.